Yo, what is up NBA fans? It's Mike here. I'm sorry my schedule with releasing videos has been kind of all over the place lately. I'm just on Christmas vacation, so I'm really taking it easy right now, and I haven't been making a real effort to make videos every day. I plan to be getting back into that in the coming days, so if you're someone who regularly watches my channel, first of all, thank you so much for regularly watching my channel, but also just know I will be trying my best to get back into daily videos once again. Now, with the start of the NBA season, it's been freaking crazy. Just straight up, okay? The Magic, as I'm recording this, are 4-0. They are the only undefeated team in the league. The Lakers and the Bucks have not looked amazing. It has been all over the place crazy, and I freaking love it. The start of the NBA season is always utter chaos, and it's such a fantastic time, alright, for the NBA community, as toxic as that group may be. Now, the team I want to talk about today is the team who has been the most negatively affected, arguably, by the start of this season, and that is the Memphis Grizzlies, alright? And this is a team who at the end of last year was looking to have one of the brightest futures in the league. They have one of the future, in my opinion, best duos in the NBA in Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. Ja Morant, we all know how good he is. This kid's 21 years old. He was fantastic in his first few games of the season. Even though they were losing, it was definitely not his fault. The dude has been averaging 26 points and 6 assists. He's just a beast, okay? Meanwhile, Jaren Jackson Jr. has not been as good on defense as we all thought he would be, but he has been better on offense, so it kind of evens out. Kid's been a great 3-and-D guy. I still think he has a massively good defensive ceiling for the future. And he really is just the perfect big man for the modern NBA. He can switch, he can defend the rim, he can shoot, he just does a little bit of anything, and he's a great player anyone would love to have on their team. If you can't tell already, I really freaking like Jaren Jackson Jr., okay? I think he's hella underrated. Great secondary option for the future for this team to go with Ja Morant. However, the basketball gods do not share my favor for Jaren Jackson Jr. or for this Grizzlies team in general. They have been plagued with injuries to their first stars, and it's just not great, guys. In the bubble last year, Jaren Jackson Jr. tore his meniscus, I believe, and I think he's supposed to miss this entire season. Despite having a great sophomore campaign, it really sucks to have that cut short right in the middle of it. Now, the meniscus tear, I don't think this is something that's going to, ruin him for the future, and he doesn't seem to have a big injury history, so I think he's going to be fine, but it still just really sucks to have a young, growing player like this miss an entire season of their young career, alright? Now, starting the season, Ja Morant started off great, like I said, and then he immediately hurts. I believe he twisted his ankle very badly. As someone who's twisted their own ankle very badly, I can tell you, it's a really freaking annoying injury. Obviously, it's not something as terrible as like an Achilles or anything near that, but twisting your ankle, if you get a bad ankle sprain, freaking sucks, alright? I speak from experience. Anyone else who's played basketball probably completely understands what I'm talking about, so I'm going to stop yammering on about it, but he is expected to be out for at least the next month, I do believe, and that's just when they're going to reevaluate him. He might be out even longer. So at this point, the Grizzlies are probably going to be the worst team in the league until Ja Morant comes back. They've got some solid other younger players on this team, and I'm going to go over them in just a moment, talking about their future, but for the most part, this team just really missing their two best players. Let me just get it out of the way right now. This Grizzlies team is not making the playoffs this year, okay? Some people have said that they're going to, despite Jaren Jackson Jr. missing the whole season, and I think at this point, anyone who says that this team's going to make the playoffs, you're really just fooling yourself, okay? They're missing over a month of Ja Morant. They're missing Triple J for most likely the whole year. They don't have a chance in this tough Western Conference. Hell, even if this team was in the East, I would still say they have no chance at the playoffs, alright? They're probably going to be like the 12th seed or something this year, and it's nothing against the team as a whole. It's just their best players are getting hurt, and there's just not much you can do with a team like this that's already very young, that already was not in any way guaranteed a playoff spot even if they were fully healthy, alright? So, I'm just telling you that right now. If you're betting money on the Grizzlies making the playoffs, you made a bad bet. Now, looking at this team's roster, even without Ja Morant and Triple J, they're not terrible. They have Jonas Valanciunas, who is quickly becoming one of the more underrated players, and especially underrated centers in the entire NBA right now. Dude is 28, so he's not exactly still improving as a player, or he wouldn't normally still be improving as a player, but it also seems like he hit his prime late. So dude's been very good last season and pretty good so far this season. Dylan Brooks is a solid rotation piece. He's been shooting atrociously from the field this season, but I expect him to get better as the year goes on. You know, it's the start of the year, not a big deal. Desmond Bane is on this team, a guy who I really wanted the Sixers to draft. Now, I'm very happy with Tyrese Maxey so far, but still, Desmond Bane would have been nice. Fantastic three-point shooting, is clearly carrying over. The dude shooting 53% on 4 threes a game. I would expect the percentage to go down and the attempts to go up as the season goes on. They got some other guys. Brandon Clark's a solid young dude. DeAnthony Melton hasn't really done anything yet, but he's super young. Kyle Anderson, Grayson Allen. Oh, geez, nobody likes Grayson Allen, okay? I didn't know much about him until the last few weeks, but now that I've seen more stuff about him, Grayson Allen, personality-wise anyway, because on the court he's just trash, and hopefully that's going to get him out of the league in a year or two. Grayson Allen is basically if Marcus Morris was a skinny white boy, okay? That's pretty much his personality. If Marcus Morris, instead of being this giant black man, was this skinny little white boy, okay, he would be Grayson Allen. That's all I gotta say about him, alright? He's just a little punk. Nobody likes him. And, man, I hope he gets out of the league in the next few years, just by sucking butt. Alright, so that is the main team around these guys. Maybe I'm missing somebody big, like, I don't know, Tyus Jones maybe, but I think that's all the players of note on this team. And that is just not a team that's even going to approach the playoffs, even once Ja Morant comes back, assuming he only misses a month, which would be the best possible option. He may miss more time than that. He could miss like 2 months, alright? We don't know. This team's not going to make the playoffs. However, they do have a bright future. Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. on their own gives this team a very, very bright future. On top of that, they got Jonas Valanciunas, who's pretty solid. Alright, Brandon Clark, DeAnthony Melton, Desmond Bane. I'm botching these guys' names. I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't pronounce people's names very well. But the team just looks like they have a very solid future. So while they're not making the playoffs, Grizzly fans, you should be pretty happy with how this team is looking for their future. They're going to be a playoff team probably next season, I would even say. They have a very solid chance of it, assuming Triple J comes back at 100%. I really don't see a reason they couldn't make the playoffs next year. They're going to be very solid, and I'm just really excited to see what this team does. Now, I'm not by any means a Memphis Grizzlies fan or anything, but I just thought this was an interesting video to talk about. They're one of the teams who aren't really getting talked about right now, as literally everyone and their mother is talking about the Cavs, or the Raptors, or, oh my goodness, there's been so many videos about the Warriors lately, alright? And the Rockets too, the freaking Rockets, alright? I just wanted to make a video about a team who hasn't really been getting the spotlight, and just say, be patient with them, okay? They've got a very bright future with a very good young duo. I think Triple J and Ja are both going to be all-stars in the future. Can they be championship superstars? I'm not sure about that. Nothing against Ja Morant, especially, who may get to that level. It's just very early in his career, and I wouldn't say with confidence the dude is going to eventually be like more than maybe like the 20th best player in the NBA. Nothing against him whatsoever, I just haven't seen enough of him yet. Also, mind you, I don't follow the Grizzlies super closely. This is not a team who I follow very much, so, you know, most of what I see from Ja is like highlights and stuff. I haven't looked real in-depth into his game, so if you think he's going to be a superstar one day, feel free to let me know, okay? I'm not telling you that you're wrong or anything. I just wouldn't say it with confidence yet. That's all I'm saying, alright? Very bright future for this young team, though. And yeah, that's all I really had to say in this video today, guys. The start of the NBA season has been crazy. I've been really enjoying it, even with the Sixers really disappointing against the Cavs the other day. They had a great win against the Raptors, so it kind of evened out. And I'm getting ready to go watch them beat the Magic, so yeah, I'm out of here. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it, and keep checking out my content. Thank you so much for watching.